Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of planning in my bullet journal. So I thought I would show you guys how I planned out my month of October, and I'm also going to quickly flip through my month of September, which I loved the theme for this month. It was kind of a dreamy 70s sunburst theme, and I just added some touches of gold to the moon to make it a little bit shiny. But yeah, I really liked this cover for the month. So this month I actually did a lot of bullet journaling compared to what I have been doing for the past several months. I've honestly struggled to get back into the habit of daily bullet journaling for a while because I think I've pinpointed why it is, and I think it's because I am the type of person where if something's stressing me out or if I have a lot of tasks that are building up, I tend to kind of push it out of my mind and I tend to not want to think about it. And literally what bullet journaling is writing out your tasks that you have to do every day. So I think I get in my head a little about it and I don't want to think about it, but that ends up making me not get things done and procrastinating on things. So I really tried this month to write out all the tasks I needed to do, and I ended up being less stressed in the end. So I just need to get back in the habit, and I think that will help kind of my frame of mind. But yeah, anyways, those were my pages for September, at least the ones that I have so far. And now I'm going to be doing a little watercolor painting for my month of October spread. And I was really excited to do this month's spread because I spent hours and hours on Skillshare relearning a lot of watercoloring techniques that I had totally forgotten about over the years. I did take a watercolor class in my undergrad degree, but I've forgotten a lot of the techniques that I learned, so this kind of brought back a lot of stuff that I had forgotten about, and it's just a really awesome way to have everything in one place. Basically what Skillshare is, if you guys don't know, is a online learning community with thousands of different classes you can take in creative skills or business skills. Their premium membership gives you unlimited access to all of these classes, and it's extremely affordable, so I highly recommend Skillshare if you want to improve your creative skills or take up a new hobby. Check the link in my description for 2 free months to Skillshare. So now I'm going to get back into my painting, and I'm using a lot of oranges, ochre colors, browns. I really want to capture all of the fall colors in this painting and kind of do a fall forest scene. So if you're wondering what that big white spot is in the middle, it's going to be the sun kind of peeking through the trees. So the trees that I'm doing right now are going to be very light and not super dark like the one I'm doing right there. If you think about trees that are more in the background and kind of peeking through the sun, they're definitely almost a little bit foggy, or they're kind of something you can barely see. So I put a little bit more water into the paint so that they're not as opaque. And then the front trees are going to be darker and definitely more visible to the eye. So I'm going in with my tiny Winsor & Newton watercolor brush, and this is the only detail brush I use anymore. It is my favorite thing in the world. I can't remember right now what the sizing is on it, but I'll look at that and link it in the description for you guys. But it just makes it so easy to do these tiny little trees. But I saw a lot of methods on Skillshare about how people do their trees, and everyone does them so differently. Some people do them where they get the paper pretty wet and then they just kind of touch their paintbrush with some paint, and it kind of spreads out like little branches. And then the method that I saw on one person's that I kind of wanted to use in this one was just making very small little jaggedy lines. And so that's kind of what I'm doing, and I think that's what I've done in the past for some of my forest paintings. I can't remember. But I really like this method for doing a lot of detailed trees. But yeah, for the trees, I'm just kind of alternating different colors and different opacities. And then on the foreground, I'm going to paint some little wheat sprigs that are coming out from the bottom. And I didn't really like how the black turned out, so I'm going to kind of fix it in a little bit, but for now I'm going to be doing some sunbursts that are coming out from the sun. I'm using my Dr. Peach Martin's Bleed Proof White paint to do this. I'm just making sure that there's not a ton of water on my brush when I do this so it doesn't spread out everywhere. And then for the wheat leaves, I'm just taking a micron pen and I'm just gonna fill those in. And right now they look a little bit too dark and not as detailed, so I'm gonna take that white paint again and I'm gonna do some detailing with my little Winsor Newton brush. So when I was envisioning this painting, I was envisioning a bunch of little specks from the sun peeking through the trees with the wheat and everything flowing in the wind. So I took my medium paintbrush and I just did a bunch of little flicks of white paint in different places. And the paint that I use is still a watercolor paint, so it's not fully going to dry right away, and it's not super opaque where it won't come off. So if you do too much, or if you do some speckles in a place that you don't want it, you can always just go over it with a little water and it'll blend right back in. And that is the finished painting. Now I scanned it, sent it to my computer, and I'm printing it out. And I just put a little October calendar on it, and then it will be ready to go in my bullet journal. Alright, so after a million different test prints later, I finally got it how I wanted it to look, and I'm going to take my Tombow mono adhesive tape to paste it into my journal. I also made a important dates calendar that is that same like rusty watercolor background as the sky is, and I thought it looked kind of cool together, so I thought it'd be the perfect addition to it. So the last thing the spread needs is a tab for the month. I ended up recently putting all of my tabs in for each month because I've lost them for quite a while and I finally found them, and I just love these little metallic tabs so much. And now we're on to the planning of October. So I'm gonna do my first daily spread, and I decided to only set up some weekly spreads because I am probably gonna not be able to use super like planning pages this month besides just weekly planning, since I have my class ending in October 13th, and then right after I go to Hawaii, which I'm really excited about, but I'm just kind of gonna keep it simple this month. So just gonna do some simple spreads. This one I'm using a bunch of my new Copic markers to fill in these little tabs. I don't really know where this idea came from, but I think I just wanted an excuse to blend all of my new Copic markers and see what it looked like, kind of like an ombre effect to it. So yeah, I was just honestly trying to find an excuse to use these markers again. And the one thing that I have trouble with these markers is the fact that they bleed through a lot. They are super awesome markers, but on pages like the Leuchtturm has, they just bleed right through them. Really any paper that I've used so far besides like, you know, a good watercolor paper is probably gonna bleed through. But the way they blend is so amazing and the colors are so beautiful that I just am gonna use them anyway, I don't care. And so on the next page, as you can see, it bled through a little bit, but I'm going to use it to my advantage, and I'm going to use it to create this next spread. I found this little card that Laura Makes put in my order from her stamp that she hand did, which is crazy. So I thought it would be the perfect thing to put on the spread. And I also took some of my craft post-it notes and I just tore them a little bit, and that's what I'm using for the days of the week. And I'm just gonna stick it with a bunch of stickers, and I'm not really putting a lot of effort into this one, but I'm just kind of making it look a little bit cute and meadowy and this is how the last spread turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, and follow me on Instagram if you want to see spreads that I post during the month. And also be sure to check the link in my description for 2 free months to Skillshare Unlimited. I know you guys will absolutely love their courses. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.